Hi. So, really happy to be talking to you today. This is Steph from World Childless Week and various other groups. So nice to speak to you, Steph. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. This is going to be crazy because we don't know what we're doing, but we'll suss it out somehow.
We'll just flag it. We'll just wing it, which is pretty much what I've done for the last 42 years of my life anyway. So we'll just we'll have a chat and see what happens.
Yeah.
So how do we know each other? Well, the truth is we don't really know each other in a real life kind of way. We've kind of virtually met each other via the internet because of the fact that we neither of us have children, do we?
That's correct.
So, I mean, when was it? I can't remember when I first kind of virtually met you. I think it probably was one of your groups. I can't remember now, actually.
I don't know because people think same thing. I think it feels longer because we chat online, and it's hard to say, well, did we meet through this group, that group, or? But we've obviously known each other for a year since World Childless Week, but we knew each other before that as well.
Yeah, I think for so long, I think my whole journey, probably yours as well, it's been going on for so long now that I sort of can't remember exactly when it started or when different people sort of came into my life. But yeah, it's been a long old journey. That's all I can say. When did you first start your Facebook groups, and what was the first one that you started?
Gosh, I'm trying to think now. What was the first one?
You've got a few, haven't you?
I've got 3 now. 2 I created. One I know. One I jumped into to help because the original person who set it up actually had to leave the group after just 3 weeks. So,
really?
And 2 of the ladies at the time jumped in and said, "Okay, we'll take it on." And that was Childless Path to Acceptance. It was a different name. It didn't have rules or anything set in place, so we completely rejigged it to make it our own. And I think that's been going about 2.5 years now. I keep forgetting, I don't know, but the numbers have jumped up.
Yeah.
Still, but it's a really good group. It's a really lovely, supportive group, similar to yours.
And what are the other groups that you've got? So you've got that one. You've got
Childless Chit Chat.
Yeah.
And Childless Perks. And Childless Perks came along very early, and I think I might have started that one before Childless Path, because suddenly thought, there's times when people say to you, "Oh God, you haven't got children. You can have a lion, aren't you lucky? You've got all this money, aren't you lucky? You can go on holiday when you're like, aren't you lucky?" And you feel like slapping them and saying, "Don't tell me I'm lucky to not have children when you don't know my side of the story."
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they do more, but it does, you know, and it's the same things that people put out all the time, isn't it? I mean, it's the same old lines, and it does get a bit wearing, So the point of the group is you can go in and you can chat about what the perks are.
Yeah, exactly. We can say this is a perk, but there's no mother on the sideline going, "I told you so."
Yeah.
So it's it is discovering the fun things that we can do without having the kids on toe. So that's why we did perks. And then Chit Chat sort of sits between Childless Path and perks, because it's a completely no child talk, no childless talk, no parent talk, no triggers, and it's just a place you can sit and chat without worrying. Because I found you go into a photography group, but after the photographers go, "Here's a lovely picture of this with my child in the corner." Go into a gardening group, "Here's a lovely picture of this plant being held by my child." So you find it's not nasty, but kids encompass everywhere. So it's just so we can go and just go, "It's not it, it's us, and it's no bugger else."
Yeah, that's it, because it does just it does, like you say, it kind of encroaches every conversation you have, doesn't it? And you sort of know, it's coming as well in a way. So it's nice to have somewhere where you can just chat and that's never going to really crop up at all. Yeah, that's good. Because obviously, I think I started my group, the Non-Mum Network, which was about 1.5 years ago. And I love it, but sometimes there is always that thing where it feels like, are we just moaning? Are we moaning quite a lot? Can it be slightly sort of negative? But I like the fact that it's a place where we can do that. We can chat, we can say about, what's kind of getting us down about it, when it's hard not to be a mum, or it's kind of difficult because there's sort of childless and child-free, people in my group. So that's kind of different in a way. And I think you have to kind of manage that dynamic sometimes, because it is just coming at it from completely different angles. So there's kind of different aspects to not having children. And even if someone else has not got kids, but they chose not to have them, it's completely different, I think, to when you've not been able to have them. Yeah. So just briefly, without triggering you too much, how would you say, how did you come to be childless then? Would you say, what?
God, it feels like it was years ago now, and to be honest, it was. But I didn't meet my partner until my early 30s, about 33. So it was already a case of tick, 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 the clock's going against you. We didn't decide to go for a family until I'd gone past 35.
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because you feel like you can't just meet someone and then like instantly, like, bam, do you want kids? You know, it's not something you can necessarily just start talking about, or you even want necessarily at that point when you met, isn't it? It's kind of hearts and flowers and going out for nice meals and that kind of stuff.
Part in enjoying life, aren't you? That's what you do. You don't just kind of go, hi, time, you know, look at this, my body clock, let's get with it. I just feel like, yeah, but let's do it. Because I'd had previous relationships, but I knew they weren't the person I wanted to be a mum with. So you don't try.
Yeah.
And then we did try, and it was like, oh, bugger out, it's all gone downhill now.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's quite a lot now, doesn't it, these days? You know, it takes, unfortunately, there's not like this massive supply of, you know, fit and worthy men out there ready to have kids. You know, when you are at your most fertile, I guess, which is like maybe 20s, early 20s, whatever. I mean, you know, too busy having fun, aren't you, at that time? Yeah. I mean, for me, like I had, I did meet my partner quite when I was relatively young, I guess, like sort of early 20s. We lived in Ibiza. Well, I lived in Ibiza and he was there on holiday. And we were like party couple, you know, always going out clubbing, having a great time. Like if someone had said to me then, when I was in my early 20s, you know, do you want to settle down and have a family? I'd have been like, no way. I can't think of anything worse. Like I just wanted to go out, have fun, go on holiday, you know, I was really enjoying life. And it wasn't until we got married sort of when I was like in my late 20s, but I thought like, yeah, now, you know, I can actually settle down and think about that. And then, you know, like you, it didn't happen. And then after a couple of years, we did have IVF in the end. We had 3 goes of IVF, but it didn't work. And so, then also people did say to me like, oh, why didn't you start it earlier? And I think, well, I wasn't in my mid-30s, you know, like when I did start this kind of journey, you know, I was like 29 when I got married, but it does take quite a long time for the process for you to realise it's not going to happen, doesn't it? And then if you do want to have sort of medical intervention, should we say, that takes a long time as well, like the waiting lists and the different procedures you might have to have leading up to it. Yeah. So by the time like my whole journey was like done and dusted, I was mid-30s, you know, 2 or maybe even 35, 36, I decided like, right, okay, that definitely is going to be it now. But unfortunately, when you decide it's it and you think, right, that's, you know, that's going to have to be the time to sort of say stop. People, not everybody else gets the memo, so you still carry on having the questions, don't you, for years? It can be years after that. I mean, even now, I think like, can you not see how old I am? Can you not see I'm like mid-40s and people are still asking me, you know, like, well, it's not too late, are you going to have kids? And you think like, you know, obviously the questions dwindle, but you think like, when is this going to stop?
Yeah, well, it's changed because I've got to the age now and my friends starting to be grandparents.
Yeah, well, this is it. I know.
That bit now, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh God, just as I go over one bit, I'm going to hit the next barrier. But like you. Yeah, and I
actually do remember one friend, we were talking once about it, and I was with a group of friends, and one of them did say, oh, you know, it will get easier, you know, you'll find it will get easier as time goes on. And I was like, well, actually it won't, because you're all going to go on and, you know, and have grandchildren. If anything, it's probably going to get harder. And one of my friends acknowledged, was like, yeah, you know, I do actually think that's true, you know. And I was really grateful to her just for actually acknowledging the fact that this is the case, and you can't just sort of make pleasantries and it is all going to get better, because it is going to be hard it is a lifelong journey, isn't it? Because your friends, as much as you're happy for them, they are all going to go on and have their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren probably. And, you know, I know we're laughing about it now, but it is hard. It's really hard, isn't it? You know, like I say we're both, like we've come out the other side of it quite a lot, and but it still does get you, doesn't it? I mean, there's still days where it does get you.
Oh God, yeah, because like you said, I'm generally pretty good. But it's the silly little unexpected things that suddenly happen. You think, oh, bloody hell, didn't see that coming. Or you don't even know what it gets to you. And you feel emotional. You think, why am I emotional? And you have to think about it, and you realise what it was, a silly little advert on TV even. Yeah. Think, yep, I'm never going to be in that situation. Or you look at something on the bookshelves and think, I can't pass it on to anybody.
It's things like that. Yeah. Seeing your friends with like their daughters or whatever, and they look so alike and they get on so well, and it's just such a lovely relationship. And then obviously you're really happy for them, and it's lovely to see. But at the same time, you think, oh, I would have just loved to have had that as well. You know, they just think like, why could I not have had that? And I think I started a new job about 4 or 5 months ago. And then suddenly, like, because I work in the beauty industry, so it's like all women, mostly. I had like this barrage of questions about children and have you got children, that sort of stuff. And it's all innocent, you know, it's all meant, you know, well-intentioned. But it meant having these conversations over and over again as I met new people in the company. It was constant. And you do get a lot of the sort of like, why didn't you adopt? You could still just adopt, and the just adopt thing, like, it's been coming up quite a lot, you know, in the last sort of 6 months or so. And you think, God, it's not a case of just adopt, like, you know, but it's the same sort of things that people say. I know they mean well, and I know there's no sort of, you know, malice behind it or anything, but that still gets me a little bit, I would say. But yeah. But it's good to have the groups that we've both, you know, created, have that network, isn't it? Where, you know that you could just, if you need to have a quick rant, you could just nip into one of the groups and have a little chat with people that do understand.
I think that's the big thing. And the fact is we've got so many different groups and they're all diverse that you can choose the one that suits you on that day almost. You've got a chance to find out, because like you say, in mine, it's all Charlie's not by choice. But with yours, it's a mix. And sometimes it's good to be in a group that's got a mix because you can see a different perspective.
Yeah,
and I think that could be good. But at the same time, I remember joining a couple of child-free groups, and I found them to be quite so they weren't for me. I found it was too extreme. You know,
they're almost like, why would you even want to be a breeder, and all these kind of like some of the things, want to be breeders, and like these they were saying about Childless not by choice. You think, wow, we're all like non-mums together, and then actually we're not sometimes in some of the groups. No, that's a really good point, actually.
So like, I think you've got to find where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Definitely, because there might be times you think, I'm going to go into child-free group, I'm going to have a rant to everybody and say it like that, but it doesn't suit every day. And it's going to be a case
I was first sort of looking for something to join, and actually there wasn't that many groups I didn't find, like right back then, sort of like 10 years ago when I was really kind of in it. I felt like I was a member of a lot of groups like fertility friends and those kind of ones when I was still trying to conceive. But then all the ladies that I met in those groups, they gradually kind of drifted off as they did get pregnant. And I was thinking, like, what do I do now? I think it was actually my mum that found Gateway Women and mentioned about Jodie Day, which obviously she's, you know, someone that we both know, you know, quite well. Yeah, amazing. But, you know, I remember thinking, who do I turn to now? So I think it's great now that there are so many different groups you can join, and there's support from all these different angles, which kind of brings us on to World Childless Week. So you've kind of taken it one step further with this, and it's amazing that you've done that, because, like, you know, we've got the support groups, we've got the different networks and things that you can join, but to actually have our own week is just amazing, and I think you've done brilliantly. Yeah, you've done brilliantly with it. I mean, because we've, you know, we're so aware of, like, you know, Mother's Day, and there's a work week for this and a day for that, but there's never really been much kind of, you know, you do still feel, even in this day and age when probably like 1 in 5 women don't have kids, you do still feel like you're very much in the minority, you do feel a bit marginalised. So it's so great to have someone like you kind of speaking out for us. And so how did that come about? Like, how did you decide to do that?
Well, I think it relates back to what you're saying, that it's, whilst we've got all those support groups, you look wider out in the thing, and there was nothing there. Do you know what I mean? There was just our support groups, but nothing else. And we do get overlooked, ignored, pushed aside, forgotten about in the general society. And the thing is that the two things that came up to mind was the fact we have got National Fertility Awareness Weeks in the UK and in the USA, 2 times a year, but their focus is fertility. It's all about, we will help your dream come true. We will give you these suggestions, we'll give you these ideas, we'll list these clinics, we'll talk about adoption, we'll talk about surrogacy. But there's very few, if any, posts in those 2 weeks that sort of say, oh, okay, didn't work out, here's where you can go. And I thought, well, why isn't there anything about us? Why are we still, even in the 2 weeks of the year where we could get recognised and acknowledged? So I literally... It's
really relevant as well, the fact that, like, you know, with fertility treatment and stuff, the failure rate is so high. I mean, it's still like 75% or whatever of the IVF cycles don't work. So it's like, there must be loads of us out there that are in this same position. You know, I'm not, all you read about are all the happy endings. Like, it does drive me mad a little bit, you know, where you, even any book you read, or even if it's just a made up book or whatever, you know, something like a work of fiction, or if it's an article in the paper, it almost always ends with like a little bundle of joy at the end. And you think, but this isn't the reality for a lot of us. And I think it's misleading, you know, some of the press that's out there, and obviously like sort of celebrities that have got access to the most amazing treatments. Some of them do end up having children like late 40s, even 50s. Is it Bridget Nielsen is pregnant, isn't she?
Oh,
I mean, it's crazy.
So, I'm not a star person, I don't read stuff, but
you know, that it is going to work, and it is easy, you know, that it's having a child through IVF or in an older age is easy, but obviously most of the time it's not going to work out. I mean, the success rate is like 1 or 2% once you get into like your 40s, isn't it? It's really low.
It's so low. I like you say, I think social media and everything, they don't give you the statistics because they think, oh no, we all have these happy endings. It's like, no, we don't, because you had the IVF. We didn't know until I was 39 that we both had fertility problems as well.
Yeah.
So, and they said, go away, lose some weight. And I was a lot less weight than I am now. Lose some weight, come back in 6 months. I knew I'd less than 6 months. That was the time they'd call me to make the appointment. I thought, okay, make the appointment, go on the medicines or whatever they've got to do to correct me, then go on the waiting list. I'd have got to 40, and that was a cut-off date for the NHS IVF. We didn't even get one cycle.
Yeah.
But like you say, if we had, at my age, the chances were ridiculous. You know, the opportunity there was so low anyway. It's just another false hope almost.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. But people think if they've never had to go down that route, they're like, IVF, it's the be-all, end-all solution that gives you the happy ending. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the thing. It often doesn't. I think it's good to, we just do need to raise awareness of how hard it is, and the fact that it's not the be all, it's not going to the success that you think it will be always, or often it's not. And there is a life after, and we're here to sort of tell you that there is a life afterwards, and it can be, and it will be, purposeful, as fulfilling as somebody else who is a mum. Like that's. I think it's really important to say that. Yeah. So what have you got planned? So last year was the first year of World Childless Week, wasn't it?
Yes.
Just how did that go?
I am still gobsmacked. Every time I say the figures for last year, it still shocks me, because the be all end all is, I literally asked a few people quietly if they thought it was a good idea, and they said yeah. So I decided to go ahead with it, but I created a Facebook page. I decided, well, will anybody else actually want to do anything for it? And I thought it could just be me doing it this week and nobody else. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do? Okay, I can write a blog each day. Never written a blog before, never done any public writing sort of thing to be critical about, criticised. And I thought, okay, I'm going to write a blog each day. What the hell am I going to write about? So I decided to have a topic for each day to give myself some guidance. So I thought, okay, so topics up. And I thought, what else can I do? I'll just drag in blogs, newspaper articles, whatever hell I can find that relates to those days. Went live with the page on the 30th of July last year, which really gave me 6 weeks to get it organised. As you do, and basically posted in Childless Path to Accept and say, anybody want to help? And they did, and then posted in different groups like yours and said, anybody want to help? And people came forward. Over the week there were just under 100 articles shared, thank God, not all by me. After all that, I don't get it that much. And the figures of the people reading were amazing, because over the 7 days the posts were read 123,000 times.
That's amazing.
Which it's amazing. I literally thought when I started, if it reaches a couple hundred, that'd be good. If I can reach a couple of thousand, that'd be amazing. So obviously this was way beyond. And Berenice Smith of Walking on Shoes, she helped with the Twitter Childless Hour.
And
we started using hashtag World Childless Week.
Yeah.
For the 7 days, that was tweeted 1.2 million times.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's absolutely 6 weeks. Amazing. Just word of mouth. No, but the thing is, I started it, but I didn't create it.
Yeah.
Every single person who put an article in, tweeted about it, commented, liked it, shared it, did a blog that I was aware of at the time. That's what made it the week that it was. So that's what we need to do again this year. It's not about me. It really isn't. It's about everybody, because I can't do it on my own. And unless we all start going, here we are, listen to us, we're standing up, even if our quite little ways of doing something, hopefully we can sort of
it's amazing. You've really given people that confidence and that platform to be able to do it, haven't you? I mean, like when you see other people talking about it and you see it being retweeted and gaining popularity, you think, I can share my story as well, like I can speak out. And it's given a voice to so many people that, might not have said anything before. So, it's amazing. Big hopes for this year then.
But the thing is, I sort of do that, and then I think, actually, what if only a tenth for that amount of numbers look at it? And I think that's still people we're reaching that we didn't reach last year. And if we let people know there is support out there from day one of finding out you'll never be a parent, we've achieved something.
Definitely.
Something. So You know, I hope it'd be great if we went bigger numbers, but at the same time, if we didn't, I'm bound to be a bit like, but it doesn't actually matter as long as we just keep pushing, forcing. You know, and there is some exciting news going out today about something that's happening.
Can we share that yet, or are you need to wait for that one?
I don't know. I'm just thinking, you're not going to air this quite yet, are you? But you will do.
Well, you can just start. You can tell me.
I'm going to tell you because it is. I'm really excited about it. I think it's amazing. But basically, Sandy from the Childless Life. I don't know if you know of her, Sandy.
Yes. I know. I know the. Yeah.
She decided that she wanted to do something to really get the word out there. So she contacted her local mayor of Baton Rouge in Louisiana and said, World Childless Week, you know, is there anything you can do? Baton Rouge have now decided, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, not knowing the local.
Yeah, I would say that's right.
I'm going to say that right. Are now actually having a Baton Rouge Childless Week to coincide with World Childless Week. So we've got a city on board.
That's amazing.
But it gets better.
Yeah.
She then went to the officials of Louisiana and told them the same. And Louisiana are now having a Louisiana Childless Week.
Oh, really?
So we've got a whole state on board actually recognising us.
That's fantastic.
So that's one state in 1 year. So again, if we can get people to build on that and bring in villages, towns, cities, states, counties.
That would be amazing. So what can people do? Like, what's the best thing that we can do to really get it out there? Like, I mean, I've written something this morning actually for one of the days, the Comments That Hurt Day.
Oh, brilliant.
I've written something for that this morning, and I was thinking, like, obviously I'll try and share it with HuffPost, which I do sometimes have articles published on there. But where else can we share things? Like, what's the best way for people to get involved, would you say?
Social media is brilliant, isn't it? Like you say, Twitter and Facebook are crazy, and there are other ones out there. That's the two I tend to use.
Instagram, I find is quite good. There's quite a good awareness on Instagram actually of like infertility. Quite a lot of groups and stuff on there as well. So
it's actually the only problem is you can't share the actual direct links, can you? Which is so frustrating.
I know, that is really annoying actually, isn't it?
I hope that they'll update that. But I think social media is the way to go. But again, it's even just getting somebody to share a link, share a post. But if you can get in touch with local papers, we've got an official press release on the website now under the section, so people can actually just literally comment that, copy that, straight into an email and send it off to the local newspapers.
Okay, that's good.
That's a great way that people can get involved, and they don't have to have their details on there. Yes, they'll have the email address, but the actual press release says, please contact me, basically. So,
and your website, World Childless Week, is just www.worldchildlessweek.com?
.net.
.net, there you go.
Yeah, .com will actually get there as well. We've got the two.
I can find all the information on the website.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got some banners and things that you can use, haven't you? Like people could put that on there.
We've got some images already for Twitter, Instagram and Facebook that can be uploaded. It's your profile picture, your cover photo to show it. I'm actually this week as well going to get around to doing a frame for Facebook because a lot of people want to just have a frame, so that is something. Yeah,
really good.
So that's going to be organised in the next few days, and that'll be available as well. So visually, people pick up sometimes a lot quicker on visual than they do on words.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, because sometimes you're scrolling, aren't you? Mindlessly scrolling through on things, and pictures do stand out at you more. And frames that's a really good idea. I think frames definitely are.
Well, that's it. Because last year we had the frames. It was all last minute, and a few different organisers set up their own sort of images. But if everybody can go back to the website and use the same one, it'll have a stronger impact because people can't ignore it when it keeps repeating.
Yeah,
and they see it more than once or twice, then they'll think, okay, there's something going on here, and they might actually go in, have a look at a link.
Yeah, I think it's really relevant as well, the date of World Childless. I don't know if you did this on purpose or not, but the fact that like next week is when all the kids go back to school, so our news feeds are going to be just like inundated. And they're cute and everything, like the kids stand in the doorway, their school uniform and the mum tearfully waving them off and all that kind of stuff. It is quite interesting. Obviously, though, like World Childless Week comes a week after. Did you do that on purpose or?
I didn't do it on purpose for that, but there is a reason for the week being in September.
Okay, go on.
Right, okay. So I literally, when I started looking for, I want to have a reason. I don't want to pick just a day and just choose.
Yeah.
So I tried to eliminate some of the major months, Mother's Days and Father's Days. I tried to eliminate Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Halloween. So I sort of eliminated them, sort of got rid of these places and thought still need something or someone to relate to. Looked at mythology, looked at religion, couldn't find anybody who stayed childless. They seem to have these miracles. So I was going through all these different sources. Eventually found 16th of September. And it sounds a bit weird, but the 16th of September is the day that most people have their birthday.
Really?
So the 16th, so the 16th of September is therefore the day that most women circle on their calendar as their day they will give birth.
I see.
But that also means it's the day that most childless women will have circled on their calendar and never given birth.
Oh, I really like
So it's a bit of a reverse reason.
Yeah.
Okay, let's reclaim the day. So as far as I'm concerned, the 16th of September is to reclaim the day for us.
Yeah.
To say that each year we're going to get louder, we're going to get noisier, more people are going to see us, more people are going to hear us, and it's our day. But also each year we can celebrate that we've found the support or helped others find the support, that we feel stronger, that we've moved on, that we've progressed. So it can be a date that we can use and celebrate as finding that we've gone along a little bit better towards our acceptance.
Yeah.
That is the reason it's September, 16th of September.
And the forget-me-not, because the flower that you use, I read somewhere else that you use a forget-me-not. So how did you choose that?
Again, multiple reasons. First of all, it came up as one of the flowers for September. And when I saw it, it was like, yes, that's the one. It sticks out like a sore thumb for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Forget the name. If you just even look at, or even forget what it looks like, if you go back to the flower itself, the forget-me-not is initially what most people would say is a weed. And gardeners pull it up and chuck it away, pull it up and chuck it away.
Yeah.
But it keeps coming back because it's resilient to being ignored. It's resilient.
I know it. My garden's full of weeds.
Yeah.
One thing
I know about weeds. I know about weeds. So
the flowers come back. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
So
that's
like resilient. It won't go away. It's going to always be there, whether you like it or not. But there are more people saying it's beautiful. It's a flower. Accept it as a flower. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Because one of the things we do struggle with is that kind of feeling of like worthiness and that kind of thing. Sometimes you feel a bit like a little weed when you realise that you know you can't. Children, you feel like you're not as good as the other blossoming flowers in the garden, I suppose, don't you? So it's really relevant.
So you've got that sort of element of it, and then when you actually look at it, you think actually it's a beautiful plant. It is a beautiful plant, and on the stem, each single stem doesn't have a single flower. It's got lots of individual flowers.
Yeah.
While each little flower is beautiful, it's almost like a collection of a community.
Yeah.
We're one of lots of flowers, so we're never on our own. We're always shoulder to shoulder with other people who are childless.
I love that. God, you really put a lot into this.
I did, and there's more. No, so I didn't want, I really wanted it to mean something. And then I've got the actual name, obviously, Forget Me Not.
Yeah.
So going back to the fact that people sometimes see it as a weed, I want to say, no, you're not going to forget us.
Yeah.
Because we're here to stay. Our numbers are sadly on the increase. You will not forget us. We will not let you forget us. So but then you also go on to the fact that people are like, but you didn't have a child. Forget it. You had a child, you lost it early. Forget it. The child was born sleeping. Forget it. We're not going to forget the children that we dreamt of.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely. I mean, so often I've kind of heard people say things almost a bit dismissive, like, but you weren't actually pregnant in the first place, were you? Like things like that. I was like, well, I had an embryo implanted into my womb. That was my child. Okay, it didn't stick around, and it might have only been for a few weeks. But as far as I'm concerned, that was, that's my child. That was my child. And even if you physically didn't even have the embryo implanted, or you didn't have an embryo, that's your dream. Like you had, these children had names. You thought about it. You partner. I used to work for a beauty company. We used to sell this mother's balm, it was called, and it was like people used to buy it to put on prevent stretch marks and stuff. And I must have stockpiled about 10 jars of this stuff, thinking it was going to be for myself. And over the years, I gradually, gave it to friends, gave it to family, until there was like nothing left in the pile. And like, people think, there was no child in the first place, but you think, well, there was to me. In your head, you've got, and every, anniversary and stuff where the days go past, you do think about it. It is something that will always be with you. So, that's a really good point. Yeah,
because it's like, sadly, for anybody who loses a child that was, for whether that child was a young age, a teenager, or in the 50s, they can post on Facebook and say, this is the anniversary of the birthday, this is the anniversary of death. And it is accepted that they're still grieving for the years that child isn't with them, for the dreams they had for the child to continue throughout their life.
Yeah.
People accept that, but they don't have the same acceptance that we had the same dreams
Yeah.
Regardless of whether our child was conceived or not, we still have those future dreams. And it's saying to people, you need to recognise that our dreams were just as strong as somebody who had a child who sadly passed away. It's just a different grief, but it is still worthy of recognition and worthy of acknowledgement. You know, so yeah, we've got names. Most of us chose names, and we'll never forget the names we chose.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's really important.
You see friends and family and other people then taking up those names as well, and you feel like, oh, that was my name, even though you can't do anything about it, you know. But it is hard, and you watch all the other children grow up, and you know, you watch the milestones that that other people have, and it's always going to be there, isn't it? But I think you can sort of come out of it the other side, and by having this network and this recognition, it definitely does makes it and it just gives you that recognition that you do deserve. So
yeah, I think that's the thing with the support groups, because you go in, the first thing people will say is, oh my god, I'm not alone, because there's nothing public out there about being childless, you do think you're on your own.
That's right.
So the first thing is like, oh my god, I'm not alone, and the next thing is like, I'm not a nutter, well, the thoughts I've got are not strange, they're not weird.
Because you feel guilty, don't you? You feel guilty for feeling certain ways, or when people, friends and family, to have children and stuff. You do feel guilty for feeling a bit jealous, or like you feel there are these emotions that other people maybe wouldn't understand, because I haven't been in that position. Whereas people in those groups completely understand where you're coming from, and don't judge you, and they just make you realise that you are normal. Normal emotion to feel. So
because I quite often find that in people, if you start talking to them before they join, when they're new, they'll go, well, oh, my story's really different, it's this, that and the other. I think it's not different. It might be slightly different because it's you, but once you post about it, you'll find out there's a lot of people out there that do understand, have been through exactly the same, or they have a condition that you think's rare, because at the end of the day, you're in a group of people that have all got something in common, and a lot of people will have the similar condition. Stop tubing parent, or just a similar circumstances, because it's not all down to fertility. And again, that's another thing that most people think is, and they don't realise that 80% of the childless population are childless due to circumstances. Not fertility. So
it's true.
There's a big bundle of us all out there, and we've all got different stories, but we overlap in so many ways. Well,
you must be so busy now then, coming up for World Childless Week. So what's coming up for you now then? Plenty of researching, finding some more articles, things to share in that week?
We've had some articles come in. We've had quite a few articles come in. But at the end of the day, I always say, if you still got something you want to share, send it in to me, because if I can fit it in, I'll fit it in. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if you don't normally speak out, it's your chance to speak out anonymously. You don't have to have your name on. You can.
That's a good point as well, isn't it? Because some people don't want to put their name to their story, or don't necessarily want their colleagues at work to read their innermost thoughts and feelings and stuff. So it's a good point that it can be anonymous. So what's the best way for people to send it to you then? Like just via Facebook, share it as a direct message to
you? Well, I'd say go to the website, the World Childless Week website, and there is actually a contact page there. You can actually upload your files, whether it be music, whether it be a picture, whether it be a poem, whether it just be your article. You can actually upload it direct through there, and it'll come straight through to us in email. You can contact me direct through email, which is stephwcw@hotmail.com, straightforward one. Or if you want to contact me through Facebook, that's fine. Messenger, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I don't mind how people get in touch. I'd say go through email, because it's going to come straight through, and it's easier for me to see straight away what you're sending in. But
it's best to come through your website, really is
ideal.
And if people just share it on their own, like walls or on their own posts, and then they put the hashtag World Childless Week, is that as good, or is it better to come through you, really? What's the best?
I think if they're going to share something from the website, obviously share it from the website with a link, because the other point is I want it to become, everything on the website is going to be shared through to Facebook, and we'll do links into Twitter as well, and hopefully get some sort of things going through Instagram. But I want it to be that World Childless Week almost becomes like a Yellow Pages directory for the childless.
So you need it to come to the mothership, don't you, really? It all needs to come to there and then be shared out. And
yourself, do you know what I mean? Like, you're there on a blogger, so if somebody wants to find a blogger, go there, and hopefully they can find bloggers. If they're a blogger, they're not on there, give me a call, get in touch for a message, and we'll add you on. So we can all literally go there and then find what we need, whether it be all the information about World Childless Week and the posts from last year and this year, whether it be bloggers, whether it be events, whatever it is. Over time, it's going to build up and get stronger, and also be a way that we can start to raise awareness.
Yeah,
and make
sounds
a
good.
difference, you know.
So if you've got the topics already sorted for each day, then where's the best place for people to find out all the different topics? So if they're thinking like, yeah, I might like to write something for that or share my story, so they can start to think about the right kind of things that we're looking for this year. Where's the best place for them to?
Again, go to the website, go to the community section, and down the community section, we've got an events page, and it lists every day's topic there.
Every day, the topics.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely talking to you. I'm just going to go off and finish tweaking the article that I've written for one of the days that I'm working on at the moment. So I'm going to carry on with that. But lovely to talk to you, and I really look forward to sharing in your success the week after next. Well, is it week after next? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh crikey! Yeah, it's getting close now. 10th,
well, Childless week. I'm really looking forward to it. It sounds like, it's quite a tough topic, but it's something so worthwhile. And I'm really looking forward to sort of sharing my articles and sharing everything you've got through the website.
Send me your links. Don't forget, send me your links and I'll get them out on the website on the day, hopefully, for you.
Yeah, brilliant. Will do. All right, thank you, Steph.
Thank you. See you again. Bye. Bye.